we are back in the garage with another episode. I know it's been a little bit, but if you happen to see the last episode, we went ahead and deleted the engine bay on the Project E30. We still have a few more things to wrap up on this vehicle, like removing all the glass, putting in the roll bar, and deleting the sunroof. That video is coming very shortly, but we gotta hurry up and get this thing out the garage and to the body shop so I can bring in my new toy and introduce you guys to the next project on the channel. But a little bit of a life update in the meantime. While I was away, I did happen to pick up some things that are crucial for the Project E30. I picked up 2 mint fenders. Everybody knows how hard it is to find mint fenders in the E30 community. So that was a big score. And I also managed to pick up 2 pristine doors, but these aren't just normal doors here. These are actually manual crank windows. People may ask why I want manual windows instead of electric windows. I want as least amount of electrical components in this car as possible. I want it to be kind of a raw driving experience. And I've already battled my fair share of E30 wiring ribbons, so if I can remove one entire system out of the car that's not needed, the better for me. If you guys didn't notice from the first clip, yes, the black E30 is on jack stands once again. You may be asking, why is it on jack stands again? Why we haven't seen it on the channel for a while? Well, let me just show you exactly what happened the last time I tried to drive this thing. Yeah, I had a whole entire driving video planned for you guys, but after I figured out what was actually wrong with the E30, I took it out for a test drive just to shake it down and make sure everything was okay with the car. And I had a little bit too much fun and I blew apart the entire shifter linkage. So once we get under the car, I'll go ahead and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, but it should be a quick and simple fix. It just requires me to drop pretty much everything underneath the car to access the shifter linkage. So I'm gonna throw you guys on a tripod and I'm gonna explain to you guys in further detail what exactly is wrong with the E30. I don't have a traditional setup on this car. I have a chassis mounted shifter. The difference between your traditional style shifter and a chassis mounted shifter really just comes down to where the shifting forces are supported. While the traditional setup does give you a smoother, more comfortable ride with less cabin noises, those plastic components do break down over time and wear out and create a very sloppy, inconsistent shift. On the other hand, your chassis mounted shifter is bolted directly to the trans tunnel, which offers you not only stability and support, but it gives you precise and predictable shifts. While it isn't suitable for daily driven vehicles, it is fantastic for aggressive driving if you want precise and fast shifts. So let's go ahead and hop under the car. I can show you guys exactly what's going on and how the E30 broke this time. So if we crawl underneath the car, I can show you guys what I was explaining. So as you can see here, here's a selector rod, there's a selector joint. That selector joint is supposed to connect directly to the back of the transmission to allow you to shift in and out of gears. There's a cotter pin that holds the selector joint to the back of the transmission. I believe it snapped. The last shift I did when I was going into 5th felt really hard and I forced it into 5th gear and all of a sudden I lost all ability to shift. So in order for me to replace that and get up on top of the transmission and see exactly what's going on, I have to remove not only the exhaust, but I have to remove all the heat shielding here and I have to drop the front end of the drive shaft because that bushing is smoked and I want to replace it anyway. I'm going to throw you guys on the tripod and I'm going to start breaking down everything to see how much damage is actually up there. So this gives you guys a little bit better view of what's going on. This here is just free fall, it's just hanging out. I'm going to disconnect the entire shifter from the bolts below here, remove it from the trans tunnel to give me a better view as what's going on up top. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and remove the drive shaft. I have to remove these 3 bolts. Now I am stuck in 5th gear, so I need to figure out how I'm going to rotate the drive shaft when it's in gear. That'll be another battle. So I will catch you guys on the other end. So we finally managed to remove everything from the bottom of the E30. As you can see, we have the exhaust laid out here. We have the heat shield. We have the guibo and all the other components on the back of the transmission, which we'll talk about in just a second. And we finally were able to remove the old E30 shifter assembly. Now this is an old eBay unit, so it is universal and it never really fit too well. But as you can see, it's kind of sandwiched on the transmission tunnel between these two plates. For the individuals who know me personally, you know there was a few things about this car that I absolutely hated, and that shifter was one of them. So I'm super excited to be able to remove that thing from the car and put something in there that the car really deserves. So now that the old system's out of the car, we're upgrading to the full Garagistic setup here. Huge shout out to Garagistic. I'll drop a link in the description below for everything you see in today's video, just in case you want to check any of it out. But the old system was terrible. It just felt sloppy. It didn't really give me that solid and direct feel I'm after. So I went with the Garagistic setup because it is a complete engineered system. From the chassis mounted shifter to the DSSR to the extended knuckle, they're all designed to work together in one package with proper geometry to give you that tight and precise feel. So now that we've got everything here, we're gonna get started on assembling all of this and throwing the new setup into the car. So now that we got the new Garagistic setup put together and assembled, I wanted to lay it down next to the old assembly so you can kind of see the differences as to why I'm happy that we're upgrading. So as I mentioned on the old setup, it was only sandwiched between these two plates, and that's how you mounted it to the chassis itself. So it wasn't really a secure setup, and you could never really center it, and something always just kind of felt off about it. With the new Garagistic setup, it's so nice. It has so many adjustable features in it. One of my favorite things that I want to highlight is that not only does it have a chamfered edge here to let you center the shifter in the tunnel, on the bottom it has a beveled edge to match that chamfer, so that this makes a secure connection not only to the tunnel itself but to the shifter. The way the DSSR is attached to the shifter, which is one of the things that I think is really cool about this is actually threaded. It'll never get loosened and it'll always be tightened, and I'm going to throw a little bit of blue Loctite on, of course, all these threads to make sure that nothing ever comes off. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump under the car and kind of see what we have to line up to get this thing to work. You can kind of see exactly what I was talking about earlier in the video. There was a pin that went through that little knob right there. That pin held on the old selector joint, and that pin now disintegrated or disappeared. I have no clue where it went. Don't know if it snapped or if it just fell out due to vibration. But now that we have access, we can go ahead and throw on the new selector knuckle and build out the rest of the shifter assembly. The camera did die me underneath the car, but I did go ahead and finish the installation of the shifter. I'll throw some clips of it up on the screen right now, but let's hop in the car so I can show you guys exactly how notchy this shifter actually is. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. That's incredible. That's how I wanted the car to drive originally when I installed the old shifter. So I'm super excited to test this out. Now the last thing we have to do before we take this thing out for a test drive is go ahead and install the new Guibo. I will show you guys which one I got. It should complement the poly bushings I have throughout the car already and should help with the power delivery. So let's go ahead and get that installed so we can take this thing out for a test drive. So the last piece of the puzzle to get this car running and driving exactly how I envisioned it is to replace the Guibo. As you can see, the old Guibo is ripped up, torn to pieces, and completely destroyed actually. It's been about 7 years with this one, and it is not in the best condition. But also, my car is one of the annoying cars that came with the Guibo dampener. So it had this big obnoxious ring around the Guibo. Now this is designed to help with vibration and kind of quiet down cabin noise. It's already loud as it is, so I'm really not worried about the dampener, but it kind of is a common mod on E30s to remove it. That way it just leaves you with the output flange here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reinstall the output flange and we're gonna go and throw on the new Guibo. So if you guys would have saw in the B-roll clips, we went ahead and ordered the Redshift CNC raised Guibo. So it is CNC'd with poly bushing, so it is a way more firmer feel. For this application here, since it is boosted, it'll help with power delivery and it'll kind of make things more solid and feel more connected. But let me show you guys, in common Nick fashion, I might have made a mistake. All right, so if you look, you can see that this Guibo matches up with the diameter of the output flange pretty spot on. Let me show you what the new one looks like. Yeah, that is a big mistake on my part. I actually ordered the wrong Guibo. There's actually two sizes. There's a 78mm and a 106mm. I accidentally ordered the larger one. I measured the old Guibo from this E30, and that one measured to be 106mm, but this E30 was not. So I've been in contact with the RevShift guys. They've been super great. We're currently working on getting me the correct one shipped out. But in the meantime, we do have this one, factory OEM Weevo. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this one on just for the sake of the video and to get the car on the road and driving, because I cannot wait to actually feel what the shifter feels like. So I'm gonna use a little bit of YouTube magic and get the rest of this car underneath assembled, get the car lowered down, and we're gonna take it out for a test drive. So this should, and there you have it. The car is put back together all in one piece. It's been a long time coming. It's been about 3 months since this car has seen any drive time. So I'm gonna take you guys for a test drive so you guys can see how the shifter feels in real time. Super excited for that. I'm gonna throw you guys on a tripod. I'll see you on the other end. I don't remember the E30 being that low, so it must have been a pain in the ass getting it on the jack stands as much as it was getting it off the jack stands. But here she is. She's finally off the jack stands and on the ground. It's been 4 months since she's touched the ground. This is a very exciting moment. I'm trying to take it all in. Super dirty, so I gotta get her detailed or give her a quick wash or something. Save that for another video, but for now, let's get inside the car, get her outside, and let's take it for a drive. This is an exciting moment. The E30 is outside the garage, on its own, under its own power. Wow, I mean, just look at this thing. This is why I literally love this car so much. I'm so excited to have it back on the road because now I can drive it in just in time for car show season, which is absolutely incredible. But I think I'm gonna throw the bumper back on the E30 because it currently is not registered and I don't want to get pulled over, and I feel like not having a bumper gives me a higher chance of it getting pulled over. So let's throw the bumper on and then take this thing out for a riff. I gotta give this thing a little tune-up, new plugs, oil change would be great for this season. I do want to get it retuned. If you guys want to see that, I do have a new turbo for the car, so if you guys want to see the new turbo and want to see the whole tuning process and dyno session, be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know that you want to see this stuff, and also follow the page. It's the fastest way that we can grow on the channel and for me to make more cool content for you guys. But let's get this thing out on the road. It's always so weird driving this thing because I forget how low it is and how heavy the clutch is in this thing. This thing feels great. I'm in third gear and it just goes into gear so much smoother. Like, it's like a night and day difference. And I mean, it's absolutely incredible. So when I bought this car originally, this is the exact feeling that I wanted in the chassis mount shifter that I didn't get with a stock shifter, but I did not get this feeling with the cheap eBay shifter. So I'm super excited the way how this feels. Overall, it turned out pretty good. It was an easy installation, it was real quick and easy. Big thanks to the guys at Garagistic for having this whole setup all in one nice assembled package. We'll say there's a little bit more pressure involved to me to get through the gears, but goes in so smooth. Like, there's no popping, there's not forced in, like it just goes right in. Boom, third, fourth, fifth. Like, I mean, reverse. It's a world of difference, and I'm so happy I did it. I don't know if you guys can actually tell the excitement I have for this car. Like, put blood, sweat, and tears into this, and I rarely ever drive it, and it's been on this weird kick lately where every time I drive it, something goes wrong. So it feels good to have it back at 90%, I'll say. Like I said, there are a few things. I do want to switch out the steering wheel. I have another steering wheel to throw on. And there's a couple of tweaks that I want to adjust and, you know, take care of. But ultimately, the car itself is driving and handling absolutely wonderful. This new shifter feels 10 out of 10, way better than the last one. And this is just a really great feeling. So we finally made it back home. The E30 in the garage. It's not on jack stands for once, which is a very weird sight to see. I'm gonna have to get used to it again, but the shifter felt absolutely amazing. Shout out to Garagistic. It was a quick and simple installation. It was a much needed upgrade, and the car drives and feels like it should have felt from the start. Now, there's a few things in this car I still want to wrap up and get together. Right now, I definitely want to give it a tune-up. I got to give it an oil change, and I'm in between if I should switch the turbo out now or if I should enjoy the car and change it out when I get some downtime. You guys let me know down in the comment section below if I should just enjoy the car and take it for what it is for the time being since it just got back, or I should put it under the knife again and swap out the turbo. In the next video, I will be addressing the Project E30. I know it's been a while since you guys have seen any movement on it. I gotta get this thing out the garage. The body shop has been consistently asking me when I'm going to drop it off, and I've been procrastinating, but there's a few things we still have to do to get this thing out the garage. I gotta get the glass out the car, and I have to delete the sunroof. Now, once all that's done, you can get this thing out and get the new project in. If you stuck around this long in the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. The quickest way we grow this channel and the easiest way for me to continue making this cool content is for you guys to subscribe. 90% of the viewers who watch my videos don't actually subscribe, so don't forget to click that button before you click off the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.